Hey guys, it is Tuesday and we're still talking about multiplication. So I'm hoping that you've already gone to Clever, clicked on BrainPop Junior, then Math, then Multiplication and Division, and then finally click the video called Arrays. If you haven't done that yet, why don't you pause the video and go do that first and then come back to me. If while you're there, you can take the easy quiz, and if you have access to a printer, you can click on Activity, print this page to go with us. If you don't have a printer, no big deal. Just get your spiral, turn to the next available page, call it Arrays. So push pause now if you need to, and then come back to me. Let's go ahead and get started. So arrays, we're still going to be working with multiplication. We're going to look at it with repeated addition again, and then turning that into a multiplication statement. But this time we're looking at it in a little different way, and that's with arrays. Arrays shows equal groups in rows and columns. So I want us to start by thinking about these are our rows. And here I see 3 rows. Okay, rows you might think of as going horizontally or side to side. These are our columns. Columns are going up and down, so we might call those vertical. And I notice there are 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So in this case, I have 3 rows and I have 4 columns, or I might say I have 4 in each row. So to start with, I can think about this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 more in that second row. 1, 2, 3, 4 more in that third row. So I can start thinking of it like 4 plus 4 plus 4. Well, I know that 4 plus 4 is 8. And if I add on 4 more, 9, 10, 11, 12, I get a total or a sum of 12. But you know, we're becoming more mature mathematicians, so we're going to move that into thinking of multiplication instead. So I'm going to think, how many rows do I have? 1, 2, 3 rows. How many are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in each row, or we could think 4 columns. And I know that 3 times 4 is 12 because I know that 3 groups of 4 equals 12. We modeled that here. 3 groups of 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12, just like we did yesterday. Here we go. Let's look at this next one to the right. How many rows do I have? I have 3 rows, so they've given us 3 blanks here. The next question is, how many are in each row? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each row. 5 columns or 5 in each row. So in each of these blanks, I'm going to write 5 because I'm thinking 5 plus 5 plus 5 more. I know that 5 plus 5 is 10, and if I add 5 more, that gives me 15. Going to turn it into a multiplication sentence though. How many groups do I have? 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3. How many are in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like I had here, 3 groups of 5. I know that 3 times 5 equals 15 in all. We call this repeated addition. We call this multiplication. And we call these arrays. And if you look around your house or look around anywhere that you're at, you can find arrays. I'd love to see some pictures of some arrays if you could find some in your house. Maybe I'll snap some and put them on my Facebook page. Let's look at this next one. I see 1, 2, 3. 3 rows. And I see that there are 1, 2, 3. 3 columns or 3 in each row. So I can think about 3 plus 3 plus 3 more. So I'm really thinking 3 groups of 3. I'm thinking 3 times 3. Well, 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus 3 more equals 9. So I know that 3 groups of 3 equals 9 in all. 3 times 3 equals 9. Check it out. I have 2 rows, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns or 4 in each row. So I've got 2 rows. There's my 2 rows. And I have 4 in each row. So I'm going to write my 4 in each row. I know that 4 plus 4 equals 8. I also know that I have 2 groups of 4 for a total of 8. I said yesterday that these are called factors. Those are the numbers we multiply together. And this is called a product. The answer to my multiplication statement is a product. 4 plus 4 equals 8. 2 groups of 4 equals 8. So let's look at this one. How many rows do we see? How many do we see in each row? That's right. I see 2 rows. And I see 3 in each row. So if I went straight to multiplication, I could say 2 times 3. Can you tell me what 2 times 3 is? How many do I have in all? 1, 2, 3. You got it. 2 times 3 is 6. If I were thinking in terms of addition, like we've been starting off with, I could be thinking 3 and 3 more equals 6 in all. 3 plus 3 is 6, or 2 times 3 equals 6. So let's do our last one. I see 2 rows. How many? These are pennies, I believe. Yeah, how many pennies do I see in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could think of 5 plus 5, or I could think of 2 times 5. It means the exact same thing. 5 plus 5 or 2 times 5, and we should all know, you got it, that's 10. There are 10 pennies in all, whether I think of it as repeated addition or I think of it as multiplication. Now, we also talked about yesterday that multiplication could be thought of in fact families, related facts. So if I were thinking of a related multiplication fact for this one, instead of saying 2 times 5 equals 10, I could turn it around and say 5 times 2 also equals 10. My video's frozen.